Hello guys,
Let's
welcome to the
go.
Chaboo podcast. Tom's already hyping us all up.
What? Let's go!
I'm gonna be your host today. I'm Callum. We're getting straight into this, guys. Let's start with introductions. How about Tom? Since you threw yourself in there, go first.
I'm the little hype man. Hello. My name is Tom, in case, Callum didn't say so. I'm myself, I'm a weeb, so I watch a lot of anime. I love it. Nothing wrong with it, just putting that out there. You mother were saying it's like, ooh, weebs are anime, people are weirdos. Get out of here, shut up. You're wrong. Anyway, yeah, that's me.
So before we actually started this podcast, we pretty much said, like, we're going to try and keep it as, like, low swearing as possible.
Yeah, I've only said once.
Let's slap that explicit mark straight on. We're going straight into this. Guns blazing, I guess. Yeah.
You want us to be natural.
Well, Brad, you want to be dominant too? Go ahead.
Sure.
Who are you?
I'm Brad. Same, also we have a slight addiction with Japan in general. It is not a problem, I promise. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
It's a lifestyle.
It's like
It's not a problem, it's a lifestyle.
Gonna,
I choose this.
2 years from now, we're just gonna see Brad on My Strange Addiction.
Just
So
his
what's your
whole room is
addiction?
Japan.
The entirety
It's
of
like-
Japan.
I can fuck that up.
I'm so
Oh.
obsessed. I've started eating the dirt from Japan.
Like fucking back to
I
water.
am one
Back to water,
with
Vigo,
Japan.
set up, like, find soil the fields of Japan.
No. Rhys, would
Oh.
you do that? Who are you?
Who are you?
I am Rhys.
Who are you?
And I'm not a weeb. I don't know why I'm here. I'm joking. I am a weeb. So.
Okay.
Alright guys, I'm a dip. Didn't know this was
Okay.
about like Japan or weebs. I'm out.
Yeah, you started speaking some weird, like Naruto stuff before this. You're just like, I got my Hokage ready to fire. It's like, okay, dude.
Well, the Rasengan
You
was
do
some
you.
sort of food. What the hell? What's going on?
Okay, man. And yeah, I guess we're all kind of here. We've kind of all got like a fascination with Japan.
Appreciation.
It's the culture. Yeah.
Can I add something?
Go ahead, Ru. This is not gonna go
Tom.
well. Tom.
We are all currently socially distancing due to the current COVID-19 pandemic.
what
You
now,
wouldn't
Tom?
believe it. There is a chance that I might have Rhys behind me. That's why his side is grey.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
side's purple. He gets all the colour. Enough COVID jokes though.
Hey yo, Brad, you're down the street, yeah? Yeah, anyway.
That's one thing I actually want to like just straight up get into, right? So we've all kind of thought at one point, like, well, I'd like to think that at least visiting Japan, right? We all want to go at some point to just be like, hey, where's all this
That's
culture?
good, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
of
like
course,
that's one
yeah.
thing. Yeah, you want to go straight up. You want to go straight in there. You want to, take Japan by the balls and just
Interesting choice of words.
Great analogy. Nice.
Not go discover Japan, go see its lifestyle,
Grab it by its-
live in Japan. No, you want to grab it by its.
You want to enjoy it, man. You like. I mean, that's why you go everywhere. If you want to go somewhere, you want to go there to enjoy it, man. You like take
Yeah.
all the culture in. And
But
yeah,
can I add?
yeah, go ahead.
There's two different types to enjoying something. I think you can, especially with Japan, you can go for a holiday and enjoy it as a holiday, or you can stay there, and that's two completely different styles of like.
Well, Tom,
Things to
funny
do.
you should ask that. So let's say, right, let's hypothetically just say, right, you either go for a week in Japan, or you go there to stay. Let's say you go for about 10 years. So
Right.
quite a considerable gap, right? What would you say is like the key difference between just going there for a week and going there to like stay? Like in terms of like, let's say like
Well, if you
culturally.
stay, you have to get a job and go through like the entire actual lifestyle of living there, which is completely different to visiting. Because it is very oriented around what's it called? Tourism. That's massive income for them, so they focus a lot on that. So it's always going to feel like 10 times better if you're going there for like a week. You go visit the best places. You don't get to experience what's is that every country there is stuff that's bad about it. Like with a big thing
Yeah,
Can I
it's kind
chuck-
of like-
with
yeah.
Japan is its workforce. I'm not sure if you know about it, but like they work stupid hours.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
like
so it's
top
very, very
of
different.
the barrel, yeah. So I think it's more about like sustaining yourself, really, innit? So going there for a week, you've got your own like funds and that. You go
You don't have
there,
any
you enjoy it.
obligations.
You don't.
You do what you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Yeah,
holiday.
exactly.
That's the whole point of the holiday. But
Can I jump
Yeah,
off what Brad
yeah,
was also
hit it.
saying? I think when it comes to like a holiday, or like say you're going for a week, in that week you kind of rush what you want to do because you do have such a short space of time. Whereas in them 10 years, you can kind of do things at your own pace and you can really see the beauty of Japan and the country or any country you kind of go to.
do you feel like the
Within that time
sparkle
period?
then, like it actually fades away the more you stay there?
I mean,
Because of course, like we've all like lived in England, right? Like we've
Yeah.
all been bound here. We've not gone like from like France or somewhere. We've all been born and raised here. So it's kind of like
Actually,
when do you go to a spot and then the sparkle of it, like this? Oh wow! Look at all these cool things I can go visit in this amount of time. When does that like fade away? And like you start to consider it as like a job, like being sustainable and
I
finding
think
the right place for you.
once you've kind of got to the point where you've near to enough done everything in your area, so it's like where I live, there's not a massive amount for me to do because I can get quite bored of what I do because I've done it all when I was younger, and it's kind of like I've grown up with that type of stuff. So I'm like, oh, I've done all that. I'm
tough to
too
move on,
old
isn't
to
it?
kind of do that. Yeah, and that's the thing with how the world works is you have to adapt to what's happening. You can't kind of stay in the same place.
And like I feel like there's a lot of people that have like we like I say we've all kind of been like bound here. Not obviously like not by choice in a sense. Yeah. We've not been like, dude, you're gonna stay here for the rest of your life. You're not going anywhere, doing anything. No, we've all like got the option in the future to go do our own thing, but like it's the kind of obligations you have to like take on it because since we've been here, we've been raised as this kind of citizen, but then going somewhere else and taking in that culture and taking in that new way of life is like, completely different. Like Brad said, it's like the hours are crazy.
But it's sort of culture as well. With living there, like sarcasm is not as, like from what I found out. Like sarcasm isn't that very it's not as
we're
common.
sarcastic,
It's not as
like,
common like, in
crazy,
like
yeah.
Japanese in general, as in Japan. So like if you get
Like
compared to
Brad,
here,
you,
it's very
yeah. You see
Not
people
Yeah.
like Chris Broad, like those people, they're all in. They're like we literally make a personality out of being
Of
like
course, there's always,
sarcastic Brits.
yeah, there's always
It's a
Japanese
thing.
people who are like that, but it's a lot less common.
Yeah.
It's not as much as culture.
And I guess it's harder to understand as well,
The more
because of course
this-
there's a language barrier as well. Yeah.
I also think that's massively down to kind of like obviously that place. So Japan is, like you were saying, is such a like heavy workforce that because they've grown up to do that, they're accustomed to do that. So for us to kind of adapt into that change, it would be so difficult because say what would you say is the average hours a week they would do?
Search it.
Yeah,
Yeah, go for it.
But like their hours, like especially I think it's in the weekends, especially like they have a lot more hours like actually at the end of the week, as well as just like within, because it's kind of like say like in the teaching industry, it's like obviously you've got the regular school hours, but you've got to be there around like 6ish, and then staying around for like 7. So those.
Oh,
kind
so
of
like
hours-
6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Yeah,
So
roughly.
the average workday starts at 8:30 a.m. and finishes at about 7 on average.
7
that's
p.m.
like 11
So that's
hours.
what
Yeah.
for. Yeah, whereas we're so
9 to
used to
5,
doing a
yeah,
9 to 5, which is what 8 hours.
8 hours. And that 3
So
hours
that's an
would
extra.
that would
3 hours
start to take
well,
it out,
probably
yeah.
like 2 hours at home, which they don't get.
And that's
Yeah.
the problem, isn't it? Like overworking
No,
in
it's a
Japan.
massive issue.
Like there's a crazy amount of people that they struggle to even leave their job because like their hours are so constricting that they just like
Hmm.
have to work at that continuous point all the time, no matter where they go.
Mm.
And you know, man, it's tough.
It's one benefit of not having to
I
live.
think like a perfect vacation to like Japan would be go and see your Tokyo, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because of course it's really busy there. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't really want to live there every day. I feel it's very busy and kind of at
Your capital is normally like your forefront of culture as well.
Yeah.
Like, think London, like, you know,
Yeah.
Trafalgar Square and stuff like that. Like, there's all
It's always busy.
cool places, Buckingham Palace, yeah.
But going to see like Tokyo and then going to like the countryside, you know, the stuff. Well, we usually see in animes and stuff like that be looking so nice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just want to go and visit it for like a couple days, maybe a week, just to go and experience it. It's just it'd be the experience.
Can I just throw out there?
Yeah.
This isn't a dig at France or whatever, but it's like, you know how Paris is made to be such this like romantic and beautiful place,
Yeah.
and all of this and that. When in reality, from what I've kind of heard, is apparently it's a bit like, excuse my language, but it's a bit of a. It smells.
Okay.
It like apparently it stinks. Apparently it's not very well kept and stuff like that.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like media in general. Media are brilliant in this, but they portray something that's not necessarily true. They'll make up their own truth.
Yeah.
So
you
obviously
get
with
tourists, isn't it?
French,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's how the media industry works. But actually, Brad, I want to actually pick up on that. So you say like your experience in Paris. What were like you expecting, and like what was something that
necessarily in Paris itself, like the main bit. But I was went to Disneyland in Paris. We went to Paris a little bit,
Okay,
but it's
nice classic
So
holiday.
I don't
yeah.
really like Paris itself. It's more the Disneyland part of it I was at, but it's not what me the media portrays, in my opinion. It's the same in England as well. Can you remember the Royal Wedding when they're trying to get the homeless people off the streets from the media? Can you remember when that was a thing?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because they were trying to obviously take the pictures and that, send them on all the tabloids and
Yeah.
stuff, like make sure
Yeah.
everyone knows
They
their
want the
stuff.
homeless,
So that,
etc. in the background of the photos.
yeah,
So they do it everywhere.
which means it's understandable, but it's you know it's unfair in a sense. But
I think the media make a fake reality. They make a utopia.
yeah,
Or they
it's-
try
it's
to make a
expectation
utopia.
versus
They need that,
reality.
because tourism
That's
Yeah.
always been the
mainly
thing. Yeah.
So they need that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like people have always had like ever since media's grown more popular, social media, and like you see a bunch of free stuff now. You don't have to go down to your local post office and buy a £1 newspaper and be like, oh wow, this place looks interesting. Now you can just like search it up and you see all these amazing pictures, but it's almost like they're trying to flip the balance of like how much good that you see so that it attracts tourists on top of what the place really is. And I feel like that kind of links back in a sense to Japan. Of course, you got like the overworking and things of actually what you pick up on when you stay there in comparison to when you go there just to visit, because you visit and go, oh wow, this place looks awesome, I love this, it's cool, new topics, new culture.
I think it's sad though. Japan is very pretty. it's a
Yeah.
beautiful
Yeah.
place in general, so it's not that far off compared to what the media formula tells you. But then of course there's obviously bad streets you can go down. But everyone, like the tourists,
Yeah.
are focusing on one main area. So, but once you can stray off from the area where it gets more traditional, which is probably like where the secret is, like the best part of Tokyo, probably. For example.
Yeah. One thing I do want to kind of say is obviously in Tokyo, their main kind of one main thing you'll see, especially on all like the big screens and stuff, is
Japanese.
anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anime is such a massive thing
I think
in the country.
Sorry, I just want to say, I think if we cut off Tom's arms, he couldn't speak.
Yeah, I speak with my hands. I speak with my hands.
He's all over the place. Hey, he goes to put his hand up every time he goes to talk. He's like,
Yeah, no, that's school for you. That's just like I'm always like,
only
can I
this guy's
say
like
something?
flailing his
Hey,
arms
it's
so
kinda
much. Hey, yeah, dude, it's such a classroom.
I never finished
I
that.
broke my heart.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
good.
I went through season
It's so
one.
It was
sad.
so good, so funny. It made me
Yeah.
bawl.
It
I cried
made me
so hard.
cry. Yeah.
Yeah,
not
it
ashamed
was
of it.
sad.
It's one of the
It's not
tops.
big.
You've got to watch it.
And now to move on to
go
the
on, man.
topic that we're all eager to talk about.
Oh yes.
Hit me.
Anime.
Anime.
I'm sure we could talk for hours on it.
Oh, we could.
We could.
We can. We might.
And we should. This episode was sponsored by absolutely no one because it's the first one.
Sponsored by Callum.
we're going 3 hours, 4 hours.
Crunchyroll, hello. You know, we subscribe to us, yeah.
We're already throwing up sponsorship jokes.
Promos.
We'll see you next jokes next week with the same joke. We're gonna milk this.
You know,
until
we'll
I'm
milk
gonna
it
do
until we're gonna get sponsored by Crunchyroll. We will.
Yeah, you're getting the
I
bag.
will
They got
make
a
it
choice.
happen. All of us will email them. Hey, you should check out this podcast. They talk about anime in Japan. Crunchyroll's involved in it. Totally should sponsor.
Oh, dude, you're gonna literally break the entire
It's
internet with
sent
that
me
sponsorship.
Crunchyroll Awards next year.
That's a
There we go.
delicacy.
Calling it out.
Right. In terms of anime, are
What
we
have you all
gonna
been
go?
watching? Let's be honest. What have we all been watching?
Well, I was gonna say, are we gonna start by obviously saying the massive animes that are out there? So your Naruto, your One Piece, your Fairy Tail,
I think we should
your
start-
Tokyo Ghoul, Sword Art Online, all of that type of stuff.
I think we should start.
What do you
with
wanna
one
start?
we're currently watching.
Yeah, I
I
think
think that would
Yeah.
help.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. I'm
Like,
happy
what
with
do we
that.
think of this season so far? Like, obviously,
Amazing.
last season was absolutely
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
had like Attack on Titan,
Yeah.
Yada.
Jujutsu
Jujutsu
Jujutsu Kaisen,
Jujutsu
looking at you, Brad,
Kaisen.
refusing to listen to it. Oh.
Watch it, Callum. Watch
Oh,
it,
watch
not
it.
listen.
So,
Okay,
if you start off with,
that's
if
all
you
we're
start
gonna
with,
get.
thingy, yeah, that one that should not.
You got My Hero.
Yeah,
Yeah,
My Hero is this
Season 5,
season.
something like
Oh yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot about. You've got Black Clover. All
Black
of that
Clover's
type of
been on
stuff.
pause recently.
Is it?
Yeah, they've been on a break for a bit. I'm not sure why. I think there might be something to do with their other series that they've been doing. Because they don't. I'm pretty sure they've been working on. What is this? One of the One Piece? Is it?
Oh, have they?
Something like that. They've been working on one of the big ones, and
I know.
obviously they
Is
need
it Boruto? Or is it One
yeah,
Piece?
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, is it Boruto?
Yeah, they're pretty much the same studio to do that, and they pretty much throw all their budget into Boruto, and that's
Ah,
why
see,
you always get the.
That was
Black
such a
Clover
bad
feast.
idea. I lost. One thing I loved
Yeah,
about
it's been great.
Naruto, especially, was obviously how story driven it was. One of the worst things about it is all of the filler. And Boruto is just stacked full of filler. There's nearly 200 episodes, and I guarantee probably
kind of-
3/4 is
That's
filler.
what it was.
And it's so disappointing. That's why I lost touch with it. It was so good. It's got such a good concept, but
my least favorite show for fillers was Bleach. That show had
Yeah.
so many fillers.
yeah,
in it.
Bleach.
I think I got about halfway through it and I just started skipping them.
Yeah,
I
I did that with Naruto. I'm not gonna lie.
Like with fillers,
Didn't
the
wanna watch
best
it.
one that's done it in my opinion is I forgot its name. When I've been watching
Is that what it's called?
the samurai guy.
I haven't heard that one.
Gintama. There you
Samurai.
go.
Samurai.
It's Gintama, yes,
Oh,
it's filler.
Gintama,
It's
yeah,
got a
yeah.
story, but it's hilarious. I love it.
Mm.
So it
Yeah,
gets,
they definitely
if
make
it's
up
not
for
to the story,
it,
it's still
their comedy.
amazing. It's hilarious. So that's why I love that show. That's only like.
I know one
The
thing-
one there, yeah.
It's like
yeah.
Naruto and that.
I know one thing Naruto did. Sorry to kind of cut you off there, Brad. I know one thing Naruto did is in some of the filler they'd tie it back to the main story. And I know especially late kind of Naruto, so kind of end of Shippuden, they kind of like made the filler related to obviously the main cause of the anime. And it was so good. They did so well with it. That's why I loved Naruto.
That's the best way to do filler. That's the reason why I don't really watch
What
it.
is everyone's favourite show then?
It's because too many episodes. My favourite show.
Or right now, or
Yeah, at the
Or
current
talk-
moment, what's your favourite show?
Tensei.
All
Dragon's
time.
Foundation.
well,
Same thing. It's amazing.
dude.
It's,
I mean,
oh.
yeah, Jobless Reincarnation was a really good one.
It's
last
next
season.
month,
Like
so-
everyone was like, "Oh, dude, it's gonna be trash." You've seen like all like the freeze frames of all the like crap stuff. But then you've got the manga readers,
manga
dude.
readers.
You've got all of those guys. They support the hell out of it, and
It's
it
original
delivered.
Isekai, isn't it? It's the mother of all yeah. If I can't say it, Isekai.
Isekais.
Right, guys, we've got a new genre. It's called Ikasai.
It's basically Isekai but backwards.
We are sponsored by the Ikasai
It's probably the best version
podcast.
of anime.
It's coming.
In my opinion, like, at least recent times, it's not.
That'll be up next week.
And it's coming
The
back.
fact that they got a whole studio to do it, that is
dedicated
a
to the show.
benchmark and a
Yeah,
half.
and it comes back next month.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait.
So,
Yeah, part
oh my
season
God.
1, part 2. And then it's
That's
Summer
pretty
Shooting
great.
season 2. They're banging it out.
what about you,
It's gonna
Callum?
be so good.
Favorite anime
Well,
all
Let-
time?
All time.
all time.
Yeah.
Of all time. Oh, okay.
That's a lot of content.
That's tough, man.
That's a lot.
There's so
'Cause-
many.
Because like for the longest time, I was like Violet Evergarden, just straight up. 'Cause
Yeah,
it is
it was-
absolutely beautiful. It's wartime story. It grabs you right in the heart. Episode 1, I cried. Episode 2, I cried. Episode
feel
3, I think I cried about like 8 to
Plastic
10
Memories?
times.
Oh, that's a slow start. but
Then there's
the
ones
second half
like
of
that,
actually-
you know.
I think
When
it's
they
so
grab you
difficult
like
to say
that,
of all time.
But then you got like Hunter x Hunter, which is like an incredible shonen. Like it got.
Yeah.
I think I watched the whole thing within a week. It was just. It was so good. Yeah.
Oh, I did that with Full Metal Alchemist. I did that. I
Oh,
watched it in
and
3 days.
Brotherhood's nuts. Yeah.
I'ma be that, your starter out animeist, like weebist person.
Just
Sort of
saying.
online.
Yeah. Oh god.
I loved when it
That's my first one.
when it came out. I loved it. That and damn, what else was I watching at the time?
Fields.
Darling in the
That's
Franks.
a hell of a fun for that, like.
Ah.
I loved Darling in the Franks. Callum hated the ending. I hated the ending. The ending was dog.
So good. It was like the last 4 episodes, whoever it was.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Big unicorn.
Bring it out to space. Why? Because yes.
Yes, we are going to have big space unicorn, and then they're gonna kiss and fly off to
Amazing.
God knows where. End scene.
That's when the studio
it's
changed,
crazy.
isn't it? That's why it happened.
hmm
Yeah, it changed literally within like the last couple
Yeah.
episodes. That makes absolutely no sense. I still don't know.
Screw it, we're
really.
going to space.
My
Let's go.
favourite anime of all time, though, it's got to be One Piece.
Mine's probably Planet.
See,
You
but
finished it.
Not yet. I'm still on like episode 700 odd, but
you
I'm
just
surprised
asked
you
They-
didn't
to
finish it in your lifetime.
Yeah, I know, but it was like, okay, if it's ones I've finished, I'd have to go Naruto then. Because Naruto just hits different. The ending of Naruto was
Not
just
including
beautiful.
You are my friend.
No, we're not
Sorry,
including
I'm
Boruto.
friends.
No, not Boruto.
Rhys, in the wide world of copyright infringement, we are absolutely going to get striked if you keep singing with that perfect voice. We're
To
getting
get
banned
copyright
live.
striked, it has to be somewhat similar. my voice is
underestimate
not
Sony Japan.
similar.
You
I
underestimate
cannot sing.
Perfection. It is absolutely perfect.
Sony Japan are ruthless, man. Don't try them.
I think Callum already knows what my favourite anime is going to be after watching it with him and my reactions to episodes.
Kuroko's
Go
no
on.
basket.
Oh, actually, it's close between that as well. That is actually,
Oh,
It's close between
Haikyuu. Haikyuu, that's another massive one.
yeah, that's another close one, but it's
Yeah,
not
you
it.
like your
Is
sports
it into
anime,
this
don't
like
you?
late this year? The new season's coming
Jujutsu Kaisen.
out. All the same for
No, So it is a new one that's came out. Well, a new season.
Attack on Titan.
Oh,
Attack
it's
on
finishing
Titan.
this year, isn't
Got
it?
it.
No.
After
There's
season
so much
4,
controversy
I was
about
like,
He read the
oh.
manga, he read it, and it was
Those
insane.
spoilers, Callum.
I'm pointing at myself. for
Those spoilers.
listeners.
I don't know anything else
Uh,
after that.
Honestly,
I've
I
so
cannot wait for
good.
the second part of season 4.
You
I am
guys will
looking forward.
absolutely love it. The ending's
It's
great.
I don't know.
left on such a cliffhanger.
A lot of
It's so
people are-
annoying.
I'm glad they left it where they did though, because that is like the end of that kind of like arc, and the beginning of like the biggest arc, and literally the final arc as well.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be sad, but it's gonna be one I'm gonna have to rewatch at some point all the way
it
through.
would make.
In terms of rewatchability,
Yeah, it's because it like kind of cut right dead center in like the middle of like one of the biggest conflicts. So yeah, I can see why, but at the same time, it's a perfect spot.
Just because it's
Maybe.
in
Maybe
this
it's right.
can't be an NBA. So.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
one of the best animes this year, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah.
I'm heading out.
Can we just talk about the animation real
I'm
quick?
heading out.
It's incredible.
Like, we're not doing this despite Brad, because we've had a very anti-Jujutsu Kaisen discussion every week. But we've made it pretty damn clear that it is like a brilliant story with clean animation, and the voice acting is just nuts.
There's more budget that goes into one of those to animate one of those fights than the whole of like the 7 Deadly Sins season 5. Like, like honestly, that 7 Deadly Sins is so disappointing
Seasons
now.
3, 4, and 5.
They do it to keep have a chin.
Yeah, well, 3 wasn't too bad. It was nothing compared to the first 2 seasons. No.
Oh no, the
Well,
first
3
two were
wasn't
best.
too bad. It was 4 and 5, which like went so far downhill.
I never finished 4. Was it 5?
I still need to finish 4.
The most amazing reason the one I didn't finish was it hurt too much to watch. I'm not gonna lie. My baby killed it.
So, like recent weeks, what have you guys been watching? Any of like the recent animes that have been coming out?
Let's just, we get this out right now. Tom, to your eternity. Let's talk about it.
Started that again.
Oh, it is. I'm gonna be honest.
Let's not spoil it then, but it is clean.
Yeah, the concept is so different to anything else I've ever watched.
I think we can like say this much because it's literally in the first couple of minutes. We have a godlike figure who has this orb, and this orb wants to know things and like learn the knowledge of the universe and the world it's in.
And what's currently happening.
And so he places it on the earth, and
you'll never guess what it turns into.
It turns into
a rock.
A rock. And throughout the first couple of episodes, we've seen like a tremendous amount happen with that rock.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, without spoiling it, it sounds like, wow, this rock is incredible. God placed down this rock, and it became a universe. Not quite, but it does. It gains knowledge, and I think it's a great story of how it progresses.
The way it portrays emotion is so well.
I thought you were about to say is like God placed this rock on Earth, and about 20 years later, it started starring in Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Yeah, funny.
Bad
jokes.
I'm here all night. I'm here all night with these puns.
Unfortunately. Jokes.
So guys, we are sponsored by Fast and Furious.
I wish.
Can I just throw something out here?
Yeah, what's up?
Dr. Stone. I feel like that's died off so quick. The first season was so good and so hype, and I've heard nothing about the second season. It's all come out, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm hesitant on watching it.
Yeah.
It was a lot quieter. I think that's the best way to put it. It was a lot quieter than the first season.
Not bad.
Because
it's not bad. It's
from what
not bad. Yeah.
From what I read, is they have a truce.
Well, I guess it's all out now.
Nice.
Yes. Some.
Yachting. Yeah. Anyway, nothing. I didn't say anything. Anyway, right. So yeah.
Go on, spoil some more anime. Callum has to edit it out. Give him
So let's just say the entire plot of Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's just, like My Hero. I'll spoil Attack on Titan for all of you.
Right. So did you know in Boruto, Boruto has special powers. His eye glows sometimes. He can use the Rasengan. He's actually, the son of Naruto, hence the name like
I didn't know
Boruto.
Wait, the Rasengan, isn't that like a Jujutsu Kaisen
known?
reference?
Whoa, Jujutsu Kaisen? Did you say they literally he becomes the best fighter in the world? What? No.
Isn't that My Hero Academia though?
My hero.
I'm gonna show you how I become the top hero.
What,
even
My Hero
though I'm
Academia? That's the one where
quirkless,
he wants to become the Pirate King, right?
Oh yeah, the Pirate King. Jeez. Wait, is it the
Plastic
one who
Memories,
wants
where
to
they all
become?
become titans and start trying to kill each other?
Wait, did you say they become the Hokage? Isn't that the one where they like go on
Oh,
ships
God.
and stuff and travel across the world?
So just for reference, we did have like a general like meeting before we started this podcast of like, you know what, we're gonna talk all things Japan. Dude, we've skipped 5 steps and then some. We've gone for passion project here. We're
No times
Time
vice
of
versa
our
context, Callum. Come on.
Yeah.
yeah.
Considering I'm a big fan of sports anime, can we talk about how good like character building and stuff is in Haikyuu?
Oh wow. So good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't think it. You really wouldn't.
Yeah, I remember you telling me to watch it, and I'm like, why am I going to watch an anime on volleyball? I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
And then I
You
watched
watch it and it's
I was
absolutely
like,
incredible.
Oh my god, this is great.
That's the thing about anime though, is like, you could be something you're not interested in at all, but you watch it and think, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care about
I've got an anime just for that.
How many people have been like that? Is there
Demon
anyone
Slayer.
here? Oh, yeah.
What an anime. But you're gonna say Callum, sorry.
Oh yeah, I read the Brad, you've read the manga for Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer, yeah, I've read it all.
Yeah. I've read it all as
So
well.
good.
Oh man.
I haven't.
Yeah.
It's one of the few
I
mangas
don't
I've
read
finished.
manga. I can't read.
I've not watched the
With a
movie.
fantastic ending.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
we
you
haven't,
do-
we haven't watched the movie, but we've read
Apparently, you might just find it something instead now. You know, very legal way.
it. Yeah.
Very legal.
I've been informed it's a
dude.
good quality version.
Next sponsorship joke, kick-ass anime. Props to you
Well,
guys.
Come on.
Thank you so much.
Now, apparently, that anime's a good one.
How many sponsorship deals is that? Jeez.
Oh, mate, we're
places.
Come on, man. Give us a good one.
Go with places.
No, this is the exposure phase, bro.
Give us
Wait,
that
wait,
10%,
wait,
we can
wait.
have like the 30%.
We've got the main sponsor. So our main sponsor is Raid Shadow Legends. You know, we've got to get that one in there.
Okay.
We've got to get that in
Oh,
there.
God.
Okay, dude, man.
Can't escape it.
Oh, is that the Legend 27?
That's a throwback.
The Legend
Oh,
27.
that's a
Throwback.
throwback.
Wow.
That's a throwback. Oh my
What
God.
happened to
Where's
that?
27
Did
now?
the
How's
Legend
27
27
just...
just...
asking these questions? Format.
Yeah.
All of it.
Everyone's asking where the Legend 27 is, but and not how the Legend 27 is.
Why?
What's wrong with the Legend 27, boys?
Why? Why?
What?
I feel
What,
like
Rhys?
Callum's stressing out, man.
Alright.
Callum's stressing out.
Get out of that. Why can't I stop watching it? You won't let me.
Thanks, man. real mature.
Oh boy.
What? I've not done anything. You guys are just
Yeah.
laughing at the word.
There's like massive music out there as well. I'm not sure what that was.
Oh, that's another thing to talk about. Anime openings.
I've made more anime
Oh,
openings
who's
now.
right?
Don't-
just
don't
put
get
your
Callum
hand
started.
up if you have a playlist. Just say I. I. We've all got one.
I used to have one.
Let's be
I
honest.
used to
I mean,
have
All
one.
of us, you mean 50%?
Reese, what happened? What happened to it? What happened?
I went to college and I didn't want people to think I was a weirdo, so I deleted it.
Oh,
I just had like a Spotify playlist of just like loads of Japanese songs.
Okay,
I was
just make
just
new
like,
accounts. That can be that. All for anime.
Weebs don't have like the best like
Social skills.
social skills or even just general standing in society. They're like thrown like, oh, you're a weeb, really?
Not as
You
much
like
now.
anime?
Not as much now.
The thing is,
Yeah,
the way I explain it
Thanks to
is,
Netflix.
if someone has watched SpongeBob
Yeah.
or Pokemon, like you're a weeb.
You've seen, okay.
Actually,
Ugh.
actually, the definition of a weeb is someone that is not from Japan who wants to be Japanese. That is the definition.
Said Wikipedia.
Still a week. Okay.
I don't think I think that's on Google.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's probably like the
Is
first
that
thing that you
being
look at.
exactly in society?
Yeah.
Probably not.
We said it before, like in Tokyo, there's like a ton of exposure.
Four
Like,
tons.
Yeah.
Akihabara, there's
They're-
literally
I was like,
streets for
whoa.
anime.
oh,
Oh,
let's
okay.
be honest, Brad.
That's
Sure.
fine.
We both, yeah, we
Okay.
we want to go there.
So,
Brad has a body
I
pillow.
do. I'm not gonna show.
What? Show
Do you
it
want me to show?
right now. Yeah,
Yes.
this is all for you exclusive people.
Mate, look at how
Watching
quick he got
you-
up. He was
Does
excited.
Does he actually?
Yeah, he
He's
genuinely
very
has a body
excited to
pillow.
see it.
Oh
Hi,
crap.
baby.
So, okay, so
No, Brad,
he's-
put the headphones on her.
So, Brad, just go ahead and explain who that is for audio only.
Look. I cannot hear what you said. So,
For our audio only,
here's
who's
Yika
that?
from. I can't say the name because I always mess it up.
Shinobu Love and Other
Yes.
Delusions. That one,
The
and
other side's a bit more.
yeah,
what we don't
this
see
is
that side.
exactly why weebs get a bad
To
rep.
be fair, to my mate, I just want to put up my name. I didn't buy this for myself. I didn't buy it. It was a present.
The fact is, right, they actually, like, Japan, there's always that stigma of, oh, well, Japan isn't just anime. And we know that, we understand that.
Oh,
It's,
that's not-
it's completely realistic.
Mm.
But it would definitely be a lie if they said that they didn't try and use anime as a way of exposure to attract people in, regardless of whether they are anime fans or they
It's-
see it and they can like relate. Oh, I've seen that there's anime related stuff.
Anime
That means they're in tune
is
with their
part
culture.
of their culture.
We got make
It
anime,
is
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
culture.
Sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's heavily inspired by anime.
It's like us and a full English breakfast. It's
Yeah.
that's our culture.
Or to be
So
more
far.
British, tea
Tea.
and crumpets.
To tell you what, though, in
Yes.
Tokyo, there's a JoJo's bloody pub, isn't there? That's basically sums it up.
Oh, is
Yeah,
there?
there's a bar.
I mean,
yeah.
it's probably very key to say as well. Like, it's anime is just probably even bigger in Japan than it is over here as well. It's a massive market for anime in Japan as it is. So been expanding, especially recently in the past like 5 years. It's been a lot more Western people have been introduced to it. For like, especially Attack on Titan's actually been a big part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've given it a lot of exposure to it. You're right.
So I don't know people have watched
And I think that's pretty cool, personally. I think that the fact that they are in tune with it really sells their culture, you know? Like, obviously, there's, like, other awesome spots, like, that makes me feel really bad that I was about to say, like, you know, I'm gonna throw something out there. But, like, you got awesome pieces of, like, history, like, has anyone seen the Hiroshima Shrine that they had for it? Like, that is a fantastic piece of, like, artwork, pretty much. That stands as, like, its own museum,
Mount
but-
Fuji.
as a whole area.
Yeah.
Mount Fuji, yeah, what a
Something
name.
you can climb
Like, it's iconic.
It's been really-
And I feel like these are the places that, because, well, short and sweet of it, because they exist, they get so much more popularity than not just anime. Like, even outside of anime, they've got such a high cultural standing.
Yes,
It
Tom.
just brings so much to the table.
Give me a speak.
If you want to stick to safe stuff, just stick with shonen. Just stick with shonen. If you like action, just stick with shonen.
Yeah. Do you want to explain
That's-
what a shonen is for obviously
Yeah,
people who don't
It's-
really understand?
Well, I don't know. I just know I've watched a lot of them.
Stick to this genre, it might be like kind of alright, but I believe no, it's mainly action. It's
Yeah.
your action anime. It's your anime that
That is
often
a
involves
shonen, isn't it?
fighting of some forms. Yes, Naruto, Black Clover,
One
even
Piece.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, One Piece. All sorts.
Or you like
Shonen
bigger
Jump,
animes.
isn't it?
A lot
Yeah.
of them are shonen.
Yeah.
Shonen Jump's amazing.
And Jujutsu Kaisen, you should totally watch Jujutsu Kaisen. if you
Yeah,
wanna
I
get
know.
into
We've all
anime
watched
and-
Jujutsu. Oh wait, I think there's 3 out of 4 that have watched it. Should be 4.
There's someone around here that
Who's-
just
What?
Who is it?
is-
Do you guys know?
What?
One thing that anime do, which I think is incredible, and with anime, you have different versions. So obviously you have your English sub, you have your dubs, which are like you can have Russian,
Fan
Spanish,
subs.
so
Oh,
on
I
and
wish
so
they were
forth.
still a thing.
If you watch anime with English subtitles, you get so much more emotion out of them animes than you do any dubs. There are some brilliant dubs out there, but personally, from kind of experience in both, I found English subs are so much better.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, for the record, we should probably say Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is classed as the #1 anime.
I think it's not official with like.
Is it?
The ratings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for your ratings. And collectively, I think it's a part of the community to say that the dub is actually, although the sub is incredible, I watched it in the sub, absolutely loved it, but the dub apparently is also incredible.
It's like Cowboy Bebop.
I think
in my opinion, the dubs for the Cowboy Bebop's better than the sub.
Yeah.
There are a few odd
I
shows, but as a general rule, subs are normally better in my opinion. But
Yeah.
if you can't read the subtitles, it's not an issue to go watch dub, in my opinion. Oh, they're saying that.
Yeah.
A lot of people look down.
Yeah. Just ignore them.
Yeah.
I think you have to give subbed a try.
Yeah,
At
I
least.
started on dubbed, and then I got told to watch it sub. That's all I do now. It's also
sub.
yeah.
Why not?
So it also helps because the episodes come out quicker
True.
because you don't have to wait for them to get dubbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like that's weeks.
Yeah.
Of,
And
Wait.
it's
processing.
easier in every show. Watch that dubs, it's the same voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, your top shows will always have the voice actors that you just instantly click with.
Yeah.
You
So it's
go,
like you'll
oh
pick,
my god,
"It's
that
Kirito!"
character from that anime. Oh my god! Like I recently watched a couple episodes of like Skate the Infinity, and I was like, oh wow, it's this Adam guy. It's Dio. It's Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. and that's always the greatest thing. Or you can be like, oh, it's Roswell from Re:Zero. Like all these people like snap together.
It's hard to recognise.
And-
It's so good. Like you barely recognise the same person.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it takes you a couple. Like it takes you about a minute sometimes. Like when they don't like even try to like properly mask it, then they just do their voice, and it's like, oh
They have like
my
proper like
god.
academies for this sort of stuff, don't they? And like so and like in England, etc., or like the US, you don't really have like voice acting high schools. They're very like few and far between. But apparently it's like massive in Japan. It's because of anime.
Yeah,
Like,
they're absolutely crazy. Like I think it's awesome personally that it's like recognized that way. It's not just it's just voice acting, but it's actually voice acting within the medium, and I think it's like a passion thing. It's awesome.
Oh, it's amazing.
And I think it's reflecting people really well in Japan. Not just like, if you're in the anime industry, that makes you awesome and cool, and if you're not, you're just an ordinary citizen. No, everyone in Japan has their role, and they work it even too much. And I think that's, in one way, it's admirable, but
Stop.
please take care of yourselves, man. Like you've earned it. Go get that break. It's yours. Take it.
If you guys were to recommend one anime like each, without obviously duplicating the same anime, what would you guys recommend? Obviously, to someone who's never really watched it before. Yeah.
This is very easy for me. So want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
It's more of a, I can say one, but it's more of a, in general, any of the Ghibli movies.
And if there were,
Ghibli movies.
Ghibli
it
movies,
showcases
Studio
how
Ghibli.
amazing anime can be. In my opinion, Spirited Away is the best one. My next one, Neighbor Totoro's up there. They may be that's all as I am.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Spirited Away came out the same year I was born. But it's so good.
Yeah, but they've held such an incredible
watched that when I was
standing
primary.
throughout the years.
That's crazy.
you what, Reese?
I've not watched any of them.
You need to get on that.
I don't
Well,
think I
that's your
have.
homework.
I don't think I have.
Well, you've both got
I
home.
feel on Blu-ray.
Both got
Hey,
home,
Tom, you want me on
yeah.
DVD? I've got that Blu-ray.
Oh, say less.
Yeah.
I'm coming round right now.
And this is when we should mention we're sponsored by Blu-ray now.
That's sponsored by
The
Blu-ray.
entirety of Blu-ray.
The entirety of Blu-ray.
I think that's possible.
We are sponsored by the Earth.
In case you guys
Moon,
didn't
the
know,
solar
me and Brad are
system.
both wearing HyperX Cloud 2s. We're actually sponsored by
Oh my
HyperX.
God.
We are not sponsored by anyone or anything.
Look at these beauty. They're noise cancelling. You get an extra
He's going
dongle
for
to make it longer.
advertising.
You can turn it up and down.
Man,
7.1
if I had
surround
these
sound.
headphones, I'd be able to
Jeez.
cancel Tom's whole point of making this into a sponsorship right now. Damn it! I should get myself some immediately. Okay, in my opinion, the anime that you should watch, I think it might set yourself a really high standard, but I've got to stick with it. Being Violet Evergarden, like it's so beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
and I think you can experience like the peak of an awesome story with beautiful visuals and just the ability to just like enjoy a whole series and just have it be that same like wow factor that whole time.
Yeah.
And love
I
its
do
packed
think though,
animation.
with Violet Evergarden, it is either you love it or I wouldn't necessarily say you hate it, but you have to stick through it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense,
Look
because
at
there are parts where it's kind of like this isn't all that exciting.
A slow
It's
burn.
more of
That's
a
the best way to put
But
it.
it all has
yeah,
purpose.
it's a slow burner.
All of it,
Yeah.
But that's like my recommendation personally. Rhys, hit us. What's your recommendation?
I'm gonna have to just go with Attack on Titan, just because the story. If it was just a movie or like a series, you'd watch it
True, yeah.
just because of the storyline. But the fact it's an anime, people won't watch it. But I think the
Yeah.
storyline's really
It was
good.
the
for
first
it,
one
so-
like people who don't really watch anime really started talking about. That was like when
Yeah.
the first season
Yeah.
came. Like even people who didn't watch anime were talking about it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So definitely,
It's the
one of the
it's
best ones to go into.
definitely the right one.
it gets
yeah.
used to kind of like
Like,
the crazy
as a
stuff about
start.
anime as well. It's giant titans walking around. So it kind of gets you
Yeah.
started to get used to the like. It's not your typical sort of show. It's
The
not-
fictional
fictional
sort of
side.
standard.
Yeah, if you want
anime.
gritty realism, Violet Evergarden's more
Yeah.
your thing. But if you
Yeah.
want something a bit more like surreal, then yeah, Attack on Titan's definitely one that you should get into. And Tom,
I have two.
No,
no,
you're
one,
on that one.
Just
one
one.
only.
Your
Your other one can be your sponsorship for today.
I think I'm gonna have to say Your Lie in April.
Oh,
That's a good one. You were born. You were crying.
It's such yeah, it's such a sad. So obviously this is Your Lie in April's a romance anime, but it's all based around music, and it's such a pretty anime, and it captures you, and
absolutely.
you get so drawn into the characters.
Yeah. What's your
Sponsorship. Wink, wink.
My
yeah,
sponsorship, A Silent Voice.
Oh, that movies.
If you're a movie,
Anime movies just hit different, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a great story. It's like what would you class that as? Because it's not quite well, it is romance.
It is a romance. It's a slice of life.
Romance. That's the best way
Yeah.
to put it.
Yeah, slice of life romance.
But it also has like that same gritty realism.
Yeah, so your slice of life is like, oh, this is kind of this has similarities to reality, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, guys. I think
Pilot episode done.
pilot episode. If you want to see more of this, visit our website. We have a
We do?
website. Yeah,
Way!
we do.
The website launched. Let's go.
So we'll slap some links down, like the description and stuff, if you want to go check that out. If you're on YouTube or if you're on Spotify or something, I don't know. One of these guys will probably tell you, which they won't, because I didn't tell
Yeah,
them.
we have no clue.
This is all news to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just under like its final things, but it's gonna be coming soon, so get ready for that. Yeah.
Oh, can I get a cap? I really need it because my hair's bad.
Tom. It's a shirt or
I'm
nothing.
surprised the one you usually wear is not super glued to your head.
No, Callum told me to take it off.
Right.
Super glue.
No.
And I'm being exposed. That's a wrap, guys. We'll see you guys next episode. Where we actually kind of talk about Japan a bit more. I am going.
He's gone.
Peace.